Hi everyone, my name is Luke. I've been living in China for about 5 months, and in today's video we're going to review some of the things that have just really caught me off guard about living here. These are going to be things that just didn't show up in any of the research that I did before moving here. And if you are inclined to visit, you may run into. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to be a good comrade and hit that little subscribe button. Social media insanity. Chinese social media is absolutely insane. There appears to be no regulations on what gets posted, and if you decide to doom scroll long enough, you absolutely are going to see some fucked up shit. And to give you an example of how this plays out, Chinese Douyin, TikTok, has 750 million daily users. The amount of content being filmed all the time in China is insane. And given that all of China isn't developed equally, a lot of that content can sometimes feel like you're watching a time machine, which is kind of cool. But on the other hand, there's a lot of crazy stuff that gets uploaded. You'll be watching a video of a puppy or a cat, and then the next one that comes up on your feed is a 10-car pileup. Or animal abuse, or human abuse, or the algorithm decides that maybe you'd like to see a factory worker being ended. It's absolutely bonkers, and no application is safe, whether it's your maps, or your dating apps, or even just shopping. You're gonna see some weird shit. And the crazy part about it is that it just seems kind of normal, like it's not even regulated. And if it is being regulated, then God knows the kind of stuff that they're getting rid of. In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of LiveLeaks. At least it kind of makes sense now why that website was so dominated by videos from China. Sticking with applications and things, marketing. There are adverts everywhere. Constant pop-ups. No matter what app you're on, you're going to get adverts shoved into your face. Outside of WeChat, a lot of the apps that I use daily even have immediate pop-up ads as soon as you open the app. That's 5 seconds that you just have to sit there and watch the advert. I've even seen people at my work who've just given up on getting rid of the pop-ups, and they'll do full-blown presentations with pop-up adverts in the corner of the screen the whole time. Now, I'm not saying that Western applications aren't also just riddled with adverts, but I will say that they are synergized a bit more into the user experience. They're kind of snuck in there under the radar, whereas adverts in China just feel like an all-out assault. It's not the craziest thing, but it's definitely something that I'll be glad to not have to deal with when I leave. Business. Chinese businesses don't seem to require a lot of space. As long as you can fit a table for serving tea, you're good to go. There's really not a strong emphasis on any kind of aesthetic or appearing really successful. I feel like the expectation here is on a business to just be able to perform immediately and solve the problem right now, rather than sit you down and look really nice and be really cool. It also feels clear at times that you're sitting in someone's converted living room and not really a proper storefront, which I actually don't hate. I don't have a problem with it. I think, if anything, it shows that the barrier to entry to starting a business is much lower and much easier than it is back home. My own city back home often just feels like it's being dominated by giant American corporations like McDonald's and Starbucks, and the local people who don't have a ton of capital basically stand no chance at being able to open their own stores. So yeah, overall, pretty cool. Public safety. Last week, I walked down a popular bar and restaurant area looking for something to eat, when suddenly a white light blinded me. Stunned and looking around for the source of said flash, to my amazement, it was a man welding the underside of his truck in the middle of a public street. The crazy part, however, is that he wasn't even wearing any goggles or a mask. He was just staring directly into the fire, and because he was on a public street, he was accidentally making everyone else stare directly into the fire. Now, I'm not a health and safety freak or anything like that, but this kind of behavior follows a general pattern that I've seen in China and a general attitude towards health and safety. And although I knew that the general standard would be a bit different, I didn't realize it was going to be this different. Other examples would be taxis not having any seatbelts, no one wearing a helmet on any of those scooters, including people with their kids. And my own personal favorite, the fact that my apartment has no fire alarms. I know that it's kind of a joke that Chinese health and safety standards are not the same as abroad, but when you get here you realize that it is much less of a joke and a very serious reality that you will be confronted with. I don't know, it can just be kind of unnerving to be in a taxi sometimes and they're going 90 miles an hour between lanes, no one's wearing a seatbelt. It's crazy. Overall, I would say that my experience here so far has been pretty crazy. There's been a lot of cool stuff, a lot of not so cool stuff, a lot of frightening stuff. But sure, what else do you want from a journey like this? The quality of things here can be kind of hit or miss, but overall, probably better than the quality of the ending of this video.